All right, we are live. Welcome back to podcast number 2 of the Two Rivers podcast series. Um, this podcast doesn't really have a huge title other than it's basically what we're going to call our Rut Cast. Um, it is the middle of the rut here in Western Kentucky, so you're probably going to hear us talk a lot about that and some other different topics and strategies and obstacles we've had to overcome so far since our last podcast. But we're going to jump right into the gift card giveaway. $25 to Shooter Supply, and I think Evan has already spun the wheel and picked the winner for that.
We have spun the wheel, and Mr. Dave Akeley, you are the winner. And you have 2 weeks to contact us on Facebook or Instagram to claim your prize.
We will get with you, however, whenever, and get you that gift card if you claim it. You have 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. We're going to do another giveaway sometime here in the near future, so stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's just jump right into it and get into where we left off pretty much. We've got some new things. I got some new equipment. Evan got some new equipment. Me and Evan have been battling back and forth about which bag fits us better for hunting with a saddle. It's been really hard to find a bag that fits our needs.
There isn't a bag that fits our needs. We're just having to settle for one.
That's basically what's happened. I settled for I don't know how some people say it different. I call it Kuyu. Some people call it
QU?
Kui.
I say QU. I don't know.
I don't know. I settled for
The one with a ram.
The I think it's the Venture 1800 cubic inch pack, and it's awesome. I like it. It fits almost all of my needs. I wish I would have got the size that's a little bit bigger, but we're gonna roll with what we got. May get a different one next year. I think you're still trying to find one that really fits your
I'm
needs.
still trying to find one that fits my needs. I mean, there's no such thing as like a strictly saddle hunting backpack. Like hunting in a tree stand, you're only taking like material with you, so you don't really need to haul anything. Like going saddle hunting, you got your platform, your sticks, and now we got camera gear going with us, and there's just not a pack that can store all that and like, but still be small. Like, yeah, you can go out and get like a mountain hauler and surely fit all your stuff in it, but
Right, then you got to lug that thing up the tree with
yeah,
you, along with all your saddle gear, and then you're packing 35, 40 pounds into the woods with you extra, and
because
that's just too much.
what we're hauling, I mean, a framed backpack is really what we need, not like the aluminum stays in it. Like your pack that you bought doesn't really have a frame, does it? It's just kind of stays in the back of it just to keep some rigidity.
It's a very small, very thin aluminum frame that stays in the back of it, and all you do is undo like 4 Velcro straps and pull it out of the top of the backpack if you don't want it.
Right, but there's not really like a framed backpack that's still a small package.
No, they don't. I have yet to find one.
Why? Surely me and Lane cannot be the only two people in the world wanting one of these.
There's somebody else out there that has this
I
problem.
bet there's a ton of people that nobody has made this yet that would just be, I mean, they'd get bought up for sure.
Somebody needs to come out with it. Somebody needs to figure it out.
Cause you,
Maybe that's something for the future.
I mean, you get any other bag and once you load it up, just turns into dang like a Walmart sack. Just folds in on itself and doesn't haul anything good, and it's a pain in the butt.
Well, for the last 6 or 7 years, I hunted with that Allen backpack, which is it and the new one are so similar, and that's why I bought the new one because it was close to what I had, and I didn't have to really change up much other than it has more straps on it to hold more stuff. But in general, I pack too much stuff into the woods as it is. I'm an overpacker. That's how I roll. You, on the other hand, you probably don't do that as bad.
I don't pack as much, but you pack all your clothes and stuff. I just wear mine,
Right.
and then I'll get hot and I'll take it off, hang it up in the tree. But now I'll have some drinks, some little Debbie's, and just camera gear, and that's enough
That's
to fill
about
up a
all you
bag.
pack.
I mean,
Well, now you're going along with new gear. Now you got a new camera
yeah, I
that you're
got the
packing with you.
camera arm, and that's a I mean, you look at the little bitty camera and the arm's not huge, but you put it in a backpack and it takes up some space.
I agree. That I packed that camera arm in one day, um, that you bought, and it was, I mean, really, my saddle and a jacket is all that bag wanted to hold, and it really didn't want to hold that, but I sat on it and zipped it up and made it work.
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to do. But nobody, it'd be a lot easier if you could fasten stuff to the outside of them.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
then you're gonna have the bag caving in on itself,
I agree.
and that's what I'm getting at with having a frame in it where you can, you know, stabilize stuff on the outside of the pack and still have plenty of room inside for what you actually need and not just carrying along. Like the pack I'm using now, the camera arm and the base and the camera takes up the whole big pocket. Just because, I mean,
Right.
you can't put anything else in there because your camera arm's the first thing you're pulling out of your bag. And it's so long that you'd be pulling everything else out of the bag with it, getting it out.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So you can't really put anything on top of it. And you can't put anything underneath it because then it's going to be sticking out of the top of the bag.
Well, and then that base that came with that, it's a fourth arrow camera arm. That base that comes with it,
That
that goes on the tree, that's an absolute unit right
that
there.
base is a chunk. If you go out and buy a fourth arrow arm, I would highly suggest getting the I think it's called the Talon base with it. It's only like $40. I need to just go ahead and get it, but it definitely it's lighter. It folds the hooks on this camera arm that stick into the tree will cut you.
It's gnarly.
They are sharp.
It's a very well built camera arm
Yeah,
though.
it's a tank. It's just
I really like it. It's smooth. I hunted with it a couple times. It's better off than what I had originally, but we're gonna rock with it and see how that works. You're
it's
rocking.
it's like the cheapest one that's still worth it.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
I mean, I don't know. I think I gave like 250 for it, maybe.
Which that's if you look at some of the other camera arms, that's pretty cheap.
Oh yeah, some of them fourth arrows. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get really close to 400.
Oh, absolutely.
But then I mean, they'll be worth it because they're smaller package like that saddle light. They're smaller package. You can get them in carbon. Like you can. I'm sitting here complaining about this one, but if I spent the money, then I could get a smaller package and then maybe eliminate some problems. But then, I mean, not eliminating all of them, I still have a big camera arm in my bag.
Right. And your camera itself, you got the new well, it's not new, but new to you.
New to me.
Canon.
No, it's brand new.
It's
not
brand
new to
new,
the market.
it's not a new product line camera.
How long has that camera been made? 2, 3 years, something like
I
that.
think it's been out 2 now.
The Rebel line has been out.
The Rebel's been out
forever.
for a really long time. They started all the way. I think it's a Rebel 100 or something. I don't know. But you've got the T7, I believe.
T7.
And what we do, it's almost perfect.
It's awesome, really.
It does its job. And
Looks great, and it's cheap enough to where if it falls out of a tree, I'm not hurt too terribly bad.
That's exactly right.
Because you buy the kit, and it's like, because I just bought the one lens kit, and you buy it, and it's like $480. But I'm pretty sure you can just get the body for like really close to 300, maybe under 300.
Yeah, I think it's right under 300, just the body itself. I've been looking at a Sony A7 III, which is way out of the budget, but eventually I will have one way or another. It's one of the baddest cameras on the market, in my opinion. But I research that stuff and I look at it all the time, and that's why I really want one. But what we got now, it works great.
I'm gonna have to switch to a camcorder at some point. I don't know. I don't know if I like the DSLR.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much variety in camera, and that's just one thing you got to do. You got to take it and hunt with it to figure out if you're gonna even like it or not. Well,
Yeah, that's pretty much what we got going.
we left off last time. You haven't killed a deer.
Hadn't killed a deer.
I hadn't killed a deer. I still haven't killed a deer. You're on the board now.
I'm on the board with old doe.
That's hey, you're getting somewhere. That's better than that's
Yeah.
better than my state right now. I'm struggling. I could have killed a doe that morning that you called me when you killed yours, but then we would have been dragging 2 deer out on that hot day instead of just one.
Yeah, and where you were hunting that morning would have been way worse of a drag than where I was hunting that morning.
That'd have been a good drag too.
Because we only had to drag mine about 50 yards to the four-wheeler. Yours would have been about 500 to the truck.
Yeah,
We could have got it to that field, but still going up that hill or by that fence.
it would have been a really long. Well,
Yeah.
dragging it out of the woods down there, it was really wet that morning. That would have been that we would have had a blast with that.
It would have been a tough one for sure.
I don't have. I don't think last time we talked, I don't think I was really chasing a shooter deer. I had a couple decent deer. Um, I've got a shooter deer. If he survives, if he has survived tonight, then I should be okay. Today is the last day of Kentucky gun season, I do believe.
Woo.
Finally, I am so glad to see it go. Some people hate me for saying that, but I'm so glad to see it go. I've got a 6-year old deer I've been after, and we've been playing cat and mouse quite a bit, but I just have yet to lay eyes on him in the daylight. You're in a rough stage there with the
I'm in a
big deer.
bad spot. Had two that I was really after, and both of them, or one of them's dead now, but both of them were, who knows where they are now, both of them were a mile and a half away from where I was hunting them at. And one of them died, 8 pointer. No, maybe it was 8 pointer. He's 8 or 10. I don't know. I forgot now. He's in the past. Oh well.
Yeah, he's gone.
But he would have been a good deer. Mile and a half away, killed by a gun. But you'll have that. Now I'm just kind of hunting and hoping, I guess.
That's yeah.
I mean, I'm just going around different spots, public, private, just setting up, not knowing what's there, hoping something comes through. But
The rut started. Technically, logically, the rut started 2 weeks ago, but the weather has been absolutely terrible,
yeah,
and
see, I don't,
we'll get into that later on. But the deer movement has been poor.
it's been bad. It hadn't been cold enough to like get them to move. I don't think they're still laying down eating acorns, and
Yeah, I agree.
they don't
Like
have a reason to move yet.
up until I don't know, I'd say 4 weeks ago. When did you kill that doe? 4 weeks ago?
No, it's been longer than that.
5 weeks ago, maybe. I
Probably 5, 6.
Yeah, it's been
It's
five
been
or
a
six.
while.
It's been a while. A week or so after that, we really started what you call pre-rut. But I still, until right now, I have not seen but 3 or 4 deer chasing a doe. It's been really slow. The weather's been, we've had 70s. I think we had an 80-degree day. It's been really warm, and the deer have just not been on their feet like they should be.
It's been abnormal for sure, but I mean, it's nothing new once you look at the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, when you look back at the history, it's been the same almost
Like,
every year.
I feel like it's just like duck season. I mean, it's moving later in our December duck season has just been awful until you get to January. And
Yeah,
I think that same kind of thing is happening with your deer. Like whenever I killed that doe, there was still a fawn getting milk off the tit
right,
in middle October.
right.
Like so, that's a late fawn. And then whenever me and you were hunting over there, I missed that one.
Yeah,
They were still milking then. I
there
mean
was a fawn and a yearling with her.
that was that was beginning of October. Maybe 2 weeks prior, a week or two prior. But
I think that hunt there was well. So we recorded that podcast like the second week, first or second week of October, and
October
that
8th when that podcast came
that
out, and
hunt
that
was
was the
right
day
before
after.
that. Yeah, that was a day or two after that. So I don't know. The deer have just been it's been slow. It's not like it used to be. I hunted the other night and I saw two young 3-year olds. They were running does. One of them wasn't even really running the doe. He was more or less just following her around. But the younger deer that I did see he didn't let that doe get within 5 foot of him. I mean, he was chasing her pretty hard, and it was really cold and the wind was blowing. I know they've bred. I mean, they had to have, but they just didn't get on their feet and get out of the woods like normal because it's still warm. They've still got food in the woods. They have no reason to leave the woods if they've got food and water and a hot doe right there with them. They're not going to come out. So it's been slow, and I also think the deer population in this area has been terrible this year. I have not seen the deer that I used to see at all.
It's definitely gotten weird. I don't know. I mean, I feel like where I hunted yesterday and this morning, I at least should be seeing doe or something coming through there.
Yeah, it's been pitiful, really.
But there's been a bunch die too. Like I mean, I don't know. There's been some good deer killed this year.
I have seen, and all the good deer I have seen, besides one or two, of course, was a gun season deer.
Yeah.
Somebody that hunted one time didn't put any effort into it. Deer just happened to be there. They happened to be there, at the right time. But bow season it's been challenging up until I mean, it's still going to be a challenge trying to get on a big deer now. Um, got got one more muzzleloader season, don't we? I think we have one more 2 day
Uh,
muzzleloader season, I believe.
do we?
I think so.
I didn't know if it was split or if it was just the one and done.
Yeah, I think we have one more muzzleloader season, and I'm not too worried about muzzleloader season. There's not as big of a crowd that muzzleloader hunts as there is,
Oh no.
a standard rifle hunt. There's been a lot of deer die. I saw the total yesterday actually on Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, and there were some big numbers on there of deer that have died across the state. But like I said, it's just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I mean some of it you can't help. Yeah, we got a December 14th to December 22nd. We will have the second muzzleloader season, I
Oh,
guess.
so it's a week.
Yeah,
It's more than 2 days. Okay,
it's
well
a
I was
week.
wrong about that.
Late muzzleloader season.
Like I said, I'm not as worried about that as I was rifle season. I'm not gonna bash a rifle hunter, but rifle season is the worst thing ever when you're a bow hunter.
Yeah, and I mean, we can sit here and complain about how much we hate it, but I mean, it's as easy as us going and picking one up and doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I just don't really, I don't feel like I'd find as much enjoyment in it. Because you can sit on a field and, bow hunting, you have missed opportunities, but with a gun, if he's out there 300 yards, you've killed a deer.
absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, I
And
don't know if I disagree with rifle season, but I think it should be moved. Like, why have 2 weeks of gun season right here in the rut?
the prime
You need to.
time.
I feel like it should go just bow season, crossbow, whatever, all the way through, and then let the rifle hunters have what's left.
You just said something else that got under my skin. Crossbow.
See,
I
I mean,
don't even get me going on that subject. It's I don't know what's happened there, but used to crossbow was disable people and kids 16 and under. I believe that's how it used to be. Now it's if you can shoot a crossbow during archery season, you can shoot a crossbow and you can go hunt with one. If you're an able-bodied person shooting a crossbow, I mean, come on, pick up a compound and go hunt with a compound.
I don't know. I think the same thing about it. It's hard to complain about something
I agree. Yeah, it is.
that if we wanted to, we could go pick one up. I
And
just
do it
don't
ourselves.
find the enjoyment in it.
No, I don't either. That's why I
I mean,
haven't even. I got my rifle out of the safe just in case I saw a coyote,
and
but I haven't hunted with it.
I think a little less of the crossbows, because I mean, yeah, like out plinking with it, you may be able to pull off a 100-yard shot, but still, if you try to do that out in the field, even I mean, it's traveling whatever 400 or 500 feet per second. That deer's still gonna have plenty of time to get started and running.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're shooting that far, I mean, you're still crossbow. You're still if he's past 60 yards, you're probably not gonna shoot it.
Of course, that got me a little off topic there, but that's one of those subjects that we could sit here and we could talk about that all night and complain about it when there's nothing we can do about it. We've got to deal with it. We've got to learn to work around that, overcome that, and beat the gun hunters. Figure out a way to beat them.
Yeah, and a 9-day youth season next year.
That's what I've been hearing. That's it's a real shocker, really.
9 days.
That's a long youth season, and they can hunt. I don't know if that's set in stone yet or not. I don't know if that's wrote in the book. I don't know if have you seen that?
I just saw it on Facebook on a. It looked like a fishing game website, so
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
could
it
just
wrote in
be
the book
that could
yet,
just be
but
a fake thing. That's just what I saw.
it could be. Let's jump back over real quick. I've got a couple food plots that are still in good shape. Um, like I said, the deer have not really made it out of the woods. I haven't seen many deer coming to a food plot to get, what food's left. They've been sticking in the woods pretty hard. I've hunted my food plot a couple afternoons just to just to see some action. I had a doe come out the other night, and I just knew there would be a buck chasing her. And she come out at 40 yards. I thought, well, I'm going to let her walk. There's going to be a buck behind her. She got to about 36 yards, looked up at me, and laid down in my food plot until it got pitch black dark. And then once it got dark and I started coming down out of my saddle, she never really ran off. She just got up and walked off, and there was no buck in sight with her, chasing her, or anything. I haven't seen deer come into that food plot on camera like I normally would. But it hasn't been cold either. The weather has been really warm until this
what
week.
you just talked about with that though is what I was getting at. Like there may be a few in heat, and then the buck's gonna chase them. But I don't know if I would say that the rut has started.
I
It's just
agree.
kind of like deer are coming into heat, and then those ones are getting chased. But it's not like just West Kentucky wide breeding going on.
I would say it was 3 or 4 years ago is when I saw the best rut, and I want to say I hunted 8 or 9 days mid rut, and I watched deer chase. I watched 10 different deer chase does around every day. I have not seen that since then. It's our weather's been different. It's later in the year, and that's something else we can't control. That's something else we got to learn to adapt to and work with. But maybe late season, catch one cruising through, gets cold enough, all the food's ate up in the woods, catch one coming through to a food plot. I've still got plenty of greens to eat on. I looked at that one the other day behind. Well, it's where we hunted, and you missed that doe. That food plot is thriving. I mean, it's gorgeous, but there's been nothing eaten on it besides the turkeys.
I haven't had a picture of a deer in. I would say, I mean, it may be a little over exaggeration, but I would say 2 months.
I have one camera that when I checked the other day, it hadn't sent a picture of a deer to my phone in 15 days.
The only place I'm getting any kind of deer coming through is down at our Wycliffe farm, and it's just in the middle of the woods. That's just deer walking through the woods.
Right. All the pictures, like I'm looking at my cameras right now. I haven't had a picture since 5:40 a.m. and I mean it's dark outside right now, and I have had nothing, and that's on any camera.
I don't even want to go back and see the last time
Yeah,
I've had a picture of a deer back here. It is just
23 days is the last time that camera sent a picture of a deer to my phone, and that camera was sending 25 pictures of deer a day to my phone for 4 months, and it hasn't sent one in 23 days. And I know the camera's fine because I walked out there the other night when I hunted and checked it. It's just been really, really slow.
I will say though, it is hard right now. It's hard to listen to those cameras.
It is. It is.
I
agree.
I went back there, hunted a little deeper in the farm, and there were 2 bucks running around. Neither of them I've had both of them on camera, but neither of them are shooters. But two bucks and 5 does was back there running around, not chasing.
Right.
I mean, just running around, hanging out. That I just haven't had a picture of them in a month.
Right. And that's what you just said. You can't really trust a camera right now because if they are moving, they're not moving where they normally move. They found a different path,
and they're not moving very much. Sticking
Right.
to the woods, coming out in the field, going to a scrape, going to a rub.
That camera that hadn't sent me a picture, it's in a food plot, and I hunted that food plot 2 weekends ago. Because whenever it was raining, I hunted it, and it rained on me for about an hour and then stopped, and I didn't see any deer in it until right at dark, and they came from a completely different direction than they've ever came. I was really shocked of where they came from. And they didn't even get close to the camera. So like you said, you really can't trust that camera right now. They're in the rut.
I'd say in the next 2 or 3 weeks you'll probably see a little more. Just because I mean it's gonna get a little colder. It's not gonna be 70s during the week. For much longer.
I looked at a thing earlier, and it said today will be the last day that you will have to mow your yard because it is fixing to die and be mowing your yard in the last few weeks of November is crazy. That's and the last 3 years that's this is the last
This
week of
is the
November.
last week.
The last 3 years, I think I've probably mowed my yard the last week of November before it ever got really cold. But they say that we do have a good cold front coming, and it's going to get cold quick, and it's going to
Well, I
stay
mean,
cold for a while.
it's been like 3 or 4 years in a row too. Christmas Day, we've gone out and played golf.
Yeah,
As if I mean, that's kind of like the family tradition now. Almost is Christmas Day, go play a round of golf.
and it doesn't, it hadn't really got cold until the middle of January, beginning of February. Then we may get a hard freeze. We may not. It was just now they're saying we could get snow on Thursday on Thanksgiving. I won't believe it until I see it.
Yeah,
I
I don't
haven't
know
seen
about
snow
that.
on Thanksgiving in ages. But the rut really,
I mean, it's
it
gonna be
hasn't been much.
45.
Do what?
It's gonna be 45.
Yeah, that's I don't think we're gonna see a chance. I don't think we're gonna see snow at all
No.
until late December, early January, and that may be, we're getting close to duck season. That may be one of those we got to sacrifice a couple duck hunts to go kill a deer.
A
And that's
couple.
that's
If we
probably what's
have,
gonna happen.
if we have a December like we've had the past 2 years, duck hunting is definitely getting sacrificed to go deer hunting.
Absolutely. If duck season starts out like it has the last few years, it's getting sacrificed until it gets really cold and we start killing ducks.
Yeah, because I mean, you're getting. I mean, 7 days from today plus 45, 52. 52 days of deer season are left.
Right.
That's not very many whenever fellows like me and you can pretty much only hunt on the weekends.
Right. Yeah. Because we're always at work. I can hunt some. I mean, some during the week, but it's a struggle to do that. And like you said, you don't get an option to hunt during the week. You're a weekend warrior,
Unless
and
I take
that's what you
off,
got to
but
deal
then I'm
with.
giving up
Then you're sacrificing a
a day
paycheck.
of, a day of work, you know?
Right. And that's one of those things. You got to work around it. You gotta
I got
adapt
to,
to it.
I'd have to have one on a dang alarm clock to take off work, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I'm at, and I don't. I haven't seen that big deer that I was chasing in a couple nights now, and that really makes me worried. We wound down into the last few days of gun season here. He could have been shot. He could have been hit by a car. He's more than likely. He's old and he's smart. He's more than likely hanging out in the woods, and nobody's seen him. More than likely.
As far as I know, just my one's dead. But that other one was with it a mile and a half away. Who knows if he is.
Right. He and you may not get a picture of him for another month.
I may not get a picture of him ever again.
You may not. He may be dead. But that's like I said. You got to work with what you got. You can't change it. You got to deal with it.
But that's kind of like what we talked. I don't know if we did talk about it on last or not, but you can kill a deer on 1 acre, but you can't grow a deer unless you got 1,000.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they're gonna get killed. You can't control them leaving
That's exactly
your
right.
farm. There's no reason to get up. Like last year, my neighbor killed a big one, but I mean, I'm glad that he killed it. I was hoping either me or him killed it because I mean, he was a good one. I didn't want some
that was a
rifle.
big deer.
I didn't want some rifle hunter coming in there and just clanking him off. We've been watching him 3 or 4 years.
That's
But I bet he was a 6-year-old deer.
I've seen a lot of dead deer this rifle season, and only about 3 of them have really impressed me.
I mean, it's just easy to do it. I mean, if you have a gun, you can go deer hunting.
And I'm not knocking it. I know it's a great way to get a kid into the sport. I'm not knocking a kid shooting a small deer, but when you're a grown adult and you've killed several deer in your lifetime and you're still shooting a 3-year-old, come on now.
That's what. Are you in West Kentucky Deer Hunters on
On Facebook,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in that group chat.
There's a dude on there posted him and his wife, and they had like a spike and a 3-point opening day,
At that point, shoot a doe.
and they're like, we don't believe in trophy hunting. We're just wanting to fill the freezer, and they teared them apart.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I think I saw that one. I
like,
saw
why-
one of them where they absolutely
If you're that
tore those guys
focused on
apart.
meat, why wouldn't you kill does, and then you can have
And that's the thing.
as many as you want?
If you're seeing those spikes, you're more than likely seeing does that same day
Right.
in that same spot, and you're gonna let the does walk to kill a 6-pointer or a
Like,
1-year-old spike.
Don't tell me you're not a trophy hunter if you're still shooting these spikes.
Exactly.
Because in your head, you've killed a buck.
And of course, that's on Facebook, and there's no telling where at in the state those deer were killed. Probably not affecting us whatsoever. But in general, I have seen a bunch of 2 and 3 year old deer die around here that had great potential. It's I don't know. It's one of those. It's just one of those things. You got to deal with it.
Got to deal with it. Can't do anything about it.
But I think you. I'm gonna call you out real quick. I think you may have rifle hunted one day.
I did not rifle hunt. I had my rifle with me.
You
Don't call that a
had,
rifle hunt.
you had your bow too, I believe.
I had my bow too, and it was in the grab position. But
Well,
yes, I did carry my rifle with me.
I guess if you can't beat them, you got to join them at
That's
some
what I
point.
said, because I was like, in my head, I was like, I'd really like to get a bow kill, but I'm not going to watch him walk by either.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's legal. Why not? But then I brought it with me that one day, and I was like, no, I'm going to kill one with it. I said, I don't want to do this.
That's right. You can go out there and kill one with a gun when you're an avid bow hunter, but as soon as you do that, it's instant regret.
I mean, it just feels
Why didn't I wait it out?
like, yeah.
I'm gonna be completely fine if I don't kill a decent deer this year with my bow. I'm gonna be completely fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm gonna kill a doe at some point. I've got plenty of doe options.
Part of it.
But
not killing one.
Just going and being in the woods or sitting in that food plot, listen to the geese, watch the squirrels. That's another thing, squirrels. I just enjoy being out there. I don't care if I kill a big deer or not. Yeah, it would be awesome. But if I hunt for the next 10 years and don't kill a big deer, I'm probably still going to do it anyway.
That's what my brother was making fun of me yesterday. Just because, I mean, I sat in the woods all day long, just about. I came out like for an hour or two, ate lunch, strung up some decoys. But I sat out there just about all day long and did not see a white-tailed deer.
But you enjoyed it.
And he was like, I cannot do that.
And there's a lot of people, they don't have the patience.
Hate that. But he can sit in a duck blind all day and not see a duck.
Well, duck blind's a little different. You can sit there and talk.
He can talk and
You got somebody sitting there with you more than likely. And that's another thing I like. If you were to go on a hunt with me or somebody else go on a hunt with me, I like buddy hunting. I like buddy hunting out of saddles or even two lock-ons side by side. I think that's a blast. You can sit there and cut up quietly. I love it, but I also really enjoy hunting by myself, nobody else around.
I like going out there by myself. No, I mean I like going buddy hunt too, but I really like going out there by myself.
I agree. Well,
what's next?
We've got some plans. I think they're not wrote down in stone yet, but
mine are wrote down in stone.
Well, then go ahead and write mine underneath them.
Not where I'm going, but
if you're going, I'm going. So that leaves it at that.
I said it this year and didn't do it, just because I started school, and so that kind of got in my head. But then I started thinking, like, if I just do school one night, I only have it one night a week. So if I go to school and then haul out of here after school, I can go anywhere.
We can get it done, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still finishing up school, trying to get that finished up, and then, I can hunt Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I only go to school 2 days a week, so I could make it work one way or another.
But for sure, 100%, you will see me going out of state for a week, and
absolutely,
we're going camping.
We're going something. I don't care if we sleep in a hotel, if we hook up the old country squire and take it out there.
I'm sleeping out there. I liked our other buddy's idea, just going out,
absolutely,
finding some public ground you can camp on, and just camping for a week.
3 or 4 days, 5 days, 6 days.
I'm going for a week.
If we don't like it, we'll stay for 10 days. It doesn't matter. We'll make it work. But that is I don't know where we're going yet, how we're going to get there, but we're going to find somewhere to go, and we're going to go. I think we got somebody else that's going to go with us.
I wanted to go to Texas, but my idea got shot down.
I mentioned that to our other buddy yesterday, and he kind of gave me that look like we're not going to Texas.
He's after a white-tailed deer.
Well, he's after no deer now. He has no deer.
He was talking about Illinois yesterday, but white-tailed deer is cool, but I mean for under $500, You can go to Southwest Texas and kill an axis deer.
And that's awesome.
Why would you not go do that?
That's awesome. Yeah, I love shooting whitetail deer.
But
I'm ate
why?
up with
But
it,
for
but
$480 something dollars.
that's the thing. You get out of state, it's completely different. There's nothing. I will say there is absolutely no place like Ballard County. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're right up against the rivers. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Farm ground and a couple plants. You're not going to find another place exactly like this. And that's what like you said. If you get out of state, you can kill several different species of deer.
Yeah, and like if you go to Kansas, if you get drawn for mule deer, with the mule deer tag comes a whitetail tag.
Right.
So like if you're near the end of your hunt and you're in some whitetails, you can think. I mean, there's like a backup plan to having the mule deer.
Right.
You get like a 2-for-1,
And
that's the same thing going to Texas hunting the axis deer. You buy the hunting tag, whitetail tag, and then it's like another $50 something for the exotic tag
right.
to kill the axis deer. So you got a 2-for-1. You can have one or the other. If you're hunting your first 3 days and you haven't been able to make contact with an axis deer, but you're seeing whitetail, then you can kill a Texas whitetail.
I think it's good. I think what it's going to come down to is we're going to have to get together, have a little meeting, and discuss where our high priority is that we want to go. I know where you want to go. You want to go to Texas.
I mean, I'd be fine going in. I mean, I thought
I would be fine with going an hour and a half south and jumping the border to Tennessee and hunting Tennessee, or going an hour north and hunting Illinois or
see.
Missouri, wherever.
I think killing a deer in the Alabama pounds would be cool too.
Getting out of this area
Because
would be cool.
Alabama's got a ton of public ground.
They do. They have a huge national forest. That's all. It's not a national forest, but it's a big forest. That's all public ground.
I didn't really know it till the other day, a few weeks ago. But Georgia has some mountains in it.
Yeah.
Bears, deer. That'd be a cool trip.
That's a trip right there. And I've got some connection with some people. I've got a connection in Kansas with a guy. He could help us out. I talked to somebody yesterday that has a big connection in Ohio and said he would make a phone call if we wanted to come up there. Actually, maybe related to our other acquaintance there on that one.
Mm.
So I don't know where we're gonna go. We're gonna have to sit down and map that one out.
Don't know where we're going, but we are going.
We're going somewhere next year, out of state, out of Ballard County, out of Kentucky.
And then I guess 3.5. Once I get out of school, I'm already buying preference points. But once I get out of school, I'm going out west somewhere, New Mexico, Montana.
I've been dying to kill a wildebeest or a zebra with my
What?
bow.
You
I
go to
think
Texas?
I think it would be awesome. But I'm ate up with, I watch a lot of elk hunting videos. Believe it or not,
I want to go kill elk so bad it hurts.
I love watching the videos of an elk getting it 35 yards. That animal's just so big, it's standing there looking at you, and you've got one shot.
One shot.
I wouldn't mind killing a moose either. I wouldn't mind killing anything. I want to kill something other than a
Something.
whitetail.
I mean, yeah. That's what I was getting at with the hunting trip. Was like it'd be cool killing one, but also like I want to kill some cool stuff as well.
Of course, you get out of the state here.
But you're talking about moose hunting, and you're talking about 10 grand.
You thought, yeah, that's big money.
Because you're talking about flying to Alaska and having a guide for 2 weeks.
Well, good thing you're in the union and an electrician.
Wrong answer.
You can spot the money.
Wrong answer.
I'm just a poor farmer.
Not this guy.
But we're definitely going to take a trip next year. Hopefully have another camera by then. Hopefully have a new saddle by then.
Definitely gonna have a new saddle by then.
I should have a new saddle and possibly new sticks on Thursday. Surprise, surprise. I'm making a switch more than likely. If I like it, I'm going to set it up and get in it and see how I like it.
Who's
But
you buying?
a guy I duck hunt with.
The guy you duck hunt with.
He shot me a price on a tethered saddle and some sticks, and Tyler jumped in that conversation and tried to buy them right then. But
Wasn't he the one just trying to sell one?
who?
Tyler.
Yeah, yeah. He's trying to get rid of his, I believe. he got a new bow yesterday as well.
It'll lift.
You're not gonna see me shooting one. I've watched them. I've shot one time. I'm not
The
buying one.
that the new tuning thing that they came out with, kind of like Bowtex, but that would almost be worth switching, is being able to tune one that precise.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that.
Just because I mean, on my Alpha X and on the old Matthews, like Alpha X, you just change a Hoyt, you just change out these bushings.
Right.
But the Matthews, you had to change out these top hats, but now it's just got that you can, I mean, micro tune it.
Well, I'm waiting on you to set up a bow shop.
Well,
That way
it's coming in the spring.
I can bring my stuff over here. I looked at some equipment yesterday for that stuff,
It's
but
expensive,
it's outrageous.
and I mean, it's not like crazy stuff.
And the bad thing is the price on that stuff is not going to go down. It's only going to
No,
go up.
and like, just I mean, a bow press is. I mean, I can understand $400 or $500 for a bow press. Like a bow vise, it's just a piece of aluminum that clamps your bow in it and holds it there, being $3, $4, $500 depending on which one you get.
That's insane.
That's outrageous, almost.
It is.
But yeah, I'm gonna get something set up to be able to work on something down here.
Well, for you, it's you shoot. You shot a lot of 3D. You shot some 3D last year. You went to Alabama twice, didn't you?
No, just once.
Or once
Foley.
last year and once this year.
The year
Didn't
before last, I went to Alabama twice. I shot the ASA shoots. I went to Foley and Coleman. I went to those two. Well, the year before last, I went to Foley, Coleman, Foley, Alabama, Coleman, Alabama, London, Kentucky, and Metropolis, Illinois. And this past year, I shot the Foley shoot, which we just kind of, I mean, that's 15 minutes from Gulf Shore, so we just
Right.
got a condo down there, pretty much just like a
Little mini vacay.
spring, winter vacation, yeah.
Absolutely.
And shot that one, and then shot Metropolis.
So
But
yeah, for you having the equipment to do that stuff that'd be a game changer for you. I don't need it as much, but I am gonna start shooting. I'm gonna try to start shooting a little more and doing some more things.
we need to go to a Kentucky.
Yeah.
Bad.
When is that?
They haven't came out with the dates yet. I want to say I think a closer one's coming this year, because I tried looking at the dates the other day. There's the Indiana, Kentucky. It's like right above Lexington, I think, like 3 hours away,
Right.
and it's actually in Indiana. But they have another one on there. Doesn't say where it's at. It just says Southwest Tack.
Could be close.
And they have one in Indiana, like I just said, and they have another one in Georgia. But that's like kind of it. And the rest are like, there's one way down in Texas, and then the rest are like out west.
Right.
And maybe there's one in Pennsylvania.
I'm not sure.
No, it's Vermont.
I had no clue even what it was until we sat down and talked, or we may have been deer hunting when you asked me that question, and I was clueless on what it even was.
There's one in Vermont. There's Vermont, Indiana, and Georgia, and I think that's it on the East Coast.
Right.
The rest are out west.
I think we may have a little possible trip coming up in February. You mentioned something about making a trip to the turkey show.
Making it, yeah.
That's definitely going to be in the works. I don't know how that's going to work out with my schedule, but I know you're for sure going.
Yeah, I mean, we make that trip every year. It's a good one to go to. I mean, it's the National Wild Turkey Convention, but that is like, I want to say that's probably one of the best sporting shows to attend.
I've never been, but I've seen videos and pictures.
Because I mean,
and it does look like it.
The main little center right there is mostly turkey, but everything else there is deer, duck. I mean, whatever you can think of is there just about. And I mean, we go on Saturday, and we are there early.
Right.
And we leave early.
Right.
I can do that show in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because I'm walking, looking. I don't stop and talk. If it doesn't catch my eye and think it's interesting, I'm walking by.
Right.
Because if you're not out of there by 12 o'clock, let me tell you, buddy, on a Saturday, oh
wow,
my gosh, you can't walk in there.
That's having something so close to home like that is really cool for us. But we've got some different things planned for the future. Like I said, I'm hopefully probably making a switch from the Hawk saddle more than likely going
There's,
tethered.
I don't want to say there's anything bad about the Hawk saddle.
No,
There
absolutely
just
not.
ain't anything good about it either.
The only complaint I have, and you don't have this problem, but my hips do not fit in that saddle. It it's tight.
It's the one thing, the two things, the sticks and the platform. I would never ever buy again.
I could live with the sticks. I could make the sticks work, but that platform,
That platform is junk.
we just said there was nothing bad about it. That platform is the worst thing
Well,
ever.
I was just talking strictly about the saddle, not the.
The platform that you can get from Hawk,
It's
that thing is
garbage.
junk. Use it as a boat anchor.
It's garbage.
It it is definitely not ideal. I almost fell out of
I
mine the
mean,
other
it
day.
works.
It
I've
does
hunted two
work.
seasons out of one. Hadn't fallen out yet.
You said you were switching to a Timu saddle yesterday, so
Yeah,
or
that
a
teaming
Timu
that
platform.
teaming platform on there, shoot, is $15.
Yeah,
It's
well,
hard to beat it. Hard to beat a deal like that.
there's also $15,000 in medical bills that comes with
Well,
that
ain't that, no,
platform.
that's what I said yesterday too. Is I can't kill a deer. I got to get a thrill some way.
You might as well. Of course, we're what 4 days from duck season coming in here in Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm gonna ride out the first 4 days and then see what happens and what the movement looks like. But I'm probably gonna be sacrificing a lot of duck hunts for a deer.
I will probably be deer hunting Sunday morning.
And yeah, I don't blame you.
Honestly.
I'm hopefully this coming weekend, I'm gonna catch a day. I'm gonna go to every single camera I got. I'm also gonna put out another camera on a different farm, try to watch some does. But I'm gonna go to every camera I've got, swap batteries in them. That goes back to what we talked about in our first podcast. It's that time of year though. I'm gonna go in, pull the packs. So I've got one rechargeable pack. I'm fixing to swap cameras. I'm fixing to completely swap brands on that one. But
Why?
just the picture quality has gone downhill with Tacticam.
Have you seen the Gen 3s?
I have seen the Gen 3,
I think mine are fine.
but for the price, I can swap to a different camera brand and run two with the same quality as the Gen 3
Well,
for the price of one Gen 3.
What are you switching to?
More than likely, Wise Eye. I've been looking a lot at the Wise Eyes.
I ain't never even heard of them.
Go look them up. They're pretty on point, and I've heard nothing but A plus 100% awesome reviews from them. And I'm not hating on Tacticam whatsoever. They have done me really good, and the customer support has been there for me. But the picture quality is not there anymore.
I hadn't had any problems out of them, and I think those Gen 3s look great.
But I started out with I think it was a Moultrie A7. I believe that's what it was, a Moultrie A7. It wasn't even a cell cam. You had to go pull the card. And when I got that first camera, that Moultrie camera, I thought I was on top of the world.
Hey,
I looked at a picture the other night from that camera from years ago and compared it to the Tacticam camera. And that Moultrie is junk.
my first camera, I remember it because I went and checked it every single day.
Yeah.
That's all I had to do as a kid was ride my Fuller back here and see if any deer came through.
Right.
Was an old Tasco.
One of the big ones?
4D batteries.
Yep. Large. Rather large.
That was my camera as a little kid going out there, and I checked it every single day, and I wasn't getting anything, and I was getting like butthurt about it, and my dad was just like, "Man, you just gotta leave it."
You just gotta leave her alone.
He said, "Go back here in a month or two and look at it."
I haven't touched a camera of course, I'm running lithium batteries and then that one lithium battery pack from Tacticam. And I haven't touched all four cameras in the last 2 months. Since I pulled that camera out of the bottoms off the river, I pulled that camera out there and moved it to one of my other farms. I haven't touched one since then, and that was first week of October.
I bet I haven't touched a camera in probably 3 months.
It was the last week of September. I haven't touched one since the last week of September.
I changed the batteries down in my Wycliffe camera, and they're at 40% right now. But I haven't touched that one back there since I swapped them out.
Right.
So that had to have been 4 or 5 months ago with that solar panel on there.
So I don't rocking.
I don't have to. And now with the Gen 3s, you don't even have to have an SD card in it. So I don't even have to go back there to get the card out to clear it once it gets full.
Right. Well, on mine, I don't have to pull the card either. I can actually go into my account and override that card, and all it does is it starts
That's right. You
deleting
can do
the
that. You can
oldest
format it,
pictures.
can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot you could do that.
and I've got 32 gig cards and all of them, and every one of them are full, but I just overwrote them, so
Well, see,
they just delete the oldest pictures.
I don't really know how that Gen 3 works without
Right.
a SD card in. I don't know where they're going, if they're just stored on the app or
On the cloud, probably.
because I mean that if that camera's got internal storage, it's got to run out at some point. What do you do then?
Yeah, I don't know how that. I'm guessing it's probably not storing it on the camera.
Because
It's storing it on your app.
I know your HD pictures store on your app.
Yeah, that's true. HD pictures cost money.
They're 5 for $50.
5 for $50.
Same with videos. Videos are 5 for $50.
Videos are also 5 for $50. I'm down to my last. I got one more video to request, and then I've got to buy another video package.
I've got a few, but I don't even have it on video anymore because
I've got two of mine on video just because, and they were on video last year in the spot I had them. I don't remember exactly why. I think I was trying to catch that really big deer in the first week of season. I was trying to catch a video of him to make sure I knew where he was coming from. And I just left it on video. I'm glad I did because I've used it a couple times already this year, just watching and figuring out where they're coming from.
but I need to switch it back to video because the only reason I took it off in the first place was whenever I still had the Gen 2 and it just torched my SD card filling up with because I was still having deer coming in.
It does. It torches the SD card
So
and the batteries.
taking a picture and then a 10-second video with no delay, like it's pretty much just a constant video almost.
Right.
And yeah, that torched them. But now, which I didn't have a problem with the batteries just because I was external.
Right.
But now with not having an SD card, it's almost worth having it on video. But there's nothing to video, so I hadn't really had the thought of switching it.
Right. I don't know what's gonna happen. You've got some plans on doing some switching on saddles, and I think you're gonna stick with the same bow you've got so far right now.
Hopefully, unless I have another incident. I was gonna shoot a Matthews this year until whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
So bought that Hoyt.
It happened. I'm gonna stick with mine. I'm gonna ride it out for at least another year. I love it. It's I did pick up. I think it's called an Expedition X Lite. I did pick one of those up the other day and I held it.
Joseph at Shooters.
Yeah, he told me, he said just go ahead and pick that bow up.
Man, he is trying to throw those things at people. And then he went and bought a Hoyt this year. So
I will say I will give it to. I think it's Expedition. That bow is really light, feels really good. But I'm a Hoyt guy. I've shot Hoyt. Like I said in the last podcast, the only other bow I've had was a bear. I've shot Hoyt ever since, and I don't plan on swapping from Hoyt unless just something crazy comes out.
I don't want to say I'm an anything guy.
No,
that's what I did whenever I bought that
mean.
Hoyt. I went in there and I shot every single. I'm not gonna say every single bow, but every single like flagship bow.
Right.
And that's just the one that felt. I was gonna go in there and buy the bow that felt best, and that's what that Hoyt did.
And you love it so far.
I love it so far, and I went in there the other day, shot this year's bow, and I've shot a 33 past 3 years.
The X2, you shot the X2? That's awesome.
I've shot a 33 the past 2 years, 3 years, 30 axle to axle. But I went in there and shot that 29-inch. Oh boy.
We'll end with that right there though. Hoyt come out with their new product line, and man, it is slick. They've got some really killer stuff that came out.
The new bars are slick. The only really difference is I'd have to have them sitting side by side to like explain to you the differences I saw in the risers. Like on mine, where the lower bar is, it kind of like swoops into it, and on these it cuts back and like comes flat. And then there's a little more, like they added some metal some places and cut some metal out other places just to make it as light as they could, and a new cam system. But it's pretty close to the same draw cycle. But the patent came up, like how the Matthews has that yoke system.
Right.
The patent came out on that. So you see the Hoyts coming out with it. There's been 2 or 3 bow manufacturers, I think, so far come out this year having that system like the Matthews does on it.
We jumped back into where in that last podcast we talked about the technology with these bows it's getting to be unreal. I watched a video the other day. It was Michael Waddell, and he was shooting. I believe he was shooting the new Hoyt, and he said
he's probably shooting RX9.
he said it. Yeah, I think that's what it was the RX-9. He said it's like shooting a suppressed bow. He said it gets quieter every year when they come out with a new one.
I
It
didn't
gets quieter.
I didn't like the RX-9. I shot it too. I didn't.
I haven't shot it. I shot of course,
I
when
mean,
I went.
I don't get them. I mean, you're not saving
Right.
crazy weight, and you're spending an extra $1,000, and they have more like carbon fiber. Obviously, vibrates more than aluminum.
And we go on if we go on a trip out west somewhere and we do a lot of walking, we may change our minds on that. Maybe
Yeah,
really wanting a carbon bow
that
that
1 pound may make the difference, but still,
we
I
may
mean,
really be wanting that carbon bow.
crap, $2,300.
Yeah, with a carbon bow comes a carbon price tag, and
I mean, you're
it's
talking
not cheap.
once you get it set up, you're talking the equipment I would put on it, the stuff I like. You're talking $4,000 bow.
Yeah, it's all getting out of hand in my opinion.
I mean, you look at my V3X, not what I paid for it, but what the cost of it would be was just shy of $3,000 if you were to go out and buy that bow and put the stuff I had on. That's not what I paid for it. I bought it used.
Right.
But if the original owner, that's what you have to pay to outfit the bow like that.
Right. And you have sold that bow since we last talked. That bow it's in the past. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's got a new owner.
It's
I think he likes it so far, is what I've been told.
I
So
think he does, and I sold it to him cheap.
he did. He got a great deal
He
on that
got a
bow,
great deal on it.
and I'm sure he'll listen to this, so he knows he got a great deal.
Yeah, he knew he got a great deal when he bought it. Cause I was like, after he bought it, I was like, dude, go look on eBay and see how good of a deal you just got. Cause there's bear bows selling for more than what I sold him. A fully as loaded as a bow as you can get.
Right.
I mean, everything on it was Matthews genuine. You know,
It was. I will give it to you. That bow was
I should have kept
a
it.
very top of the line bow.
Should have kept it.
I don't know that Alpha X. I think it's sitting behind me. It was sitting
No,
behind me.
it's upstairs.
It was sitting behind me. It's man,
I'm not saying
it's an
I'm not
awesome
saying I
bow.
would have hunted with it, but I'm just saying should have kept it.
Right. And you may come to that point where you're gonna have two bows. You may buy a Hoyt competition bow, a target bow,
Now,
or a Matthews,
if I
whatever.
do buy a target bow, it will be the Matthews.
Right.
That's a shooter right there. That Matthews title came out last year.
I've seen a lot of people
That's
that shoot the competition. They're all
That's a
they're all
shooter.
big Matthews people, and I'm kind of like you. I'm not gonna if somebody wants to send me a bow and say here, shoot this bow for free, I'm gonna shoot it. But me personally, I'm gonna if it comes down to buying another one, I'm probably gonna buy a Hoyt unless I find something crazy to change my mind. That X Light, when I picked it up the other day, it was really nice bow, but then again,
The one thing about that X Lite that I found when I picked it up is it is not X Lite. That thing's a tank.
I don't know. I picked up the smaller one and I held it up with they had one VTM left up there on the shelf, and I held it up with the VTM. It made that VTM feel heavy.
Well, I shot that big long bottomland one. I want to say it's a 34. It may be
30,
even a 35.
It's a 33 or 30. I think it's 34. I believe
But
it's a 30. They got a 31 and a 34.
that thing was a tank.
I think that pretty much covers everything that we had to discuss. We have another podcast coming in the future. I don't know when we're going to do it. It'd be a December podcast. Probably touch a little on duck season if the weather gets right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, both of us have filled our buck tags for Kentucky. We're hoping that doesn't have to wait till the January. But
I'm ready for turkey season.
I
Get
am.
this crap over with.
I was sitting in the saddle the other night. I took my saddle. The wind was wrong to hunt my lock on, and I took my saddle. Bad, bad, bad choice. The wind was blowing 25, 30 mile an hour, and I didn't realize it until I got in the tree, 25 foot up in my saddle, and was just a swinging.
Well, did I send you a picture of that tree I got in the other day?
Yes.
That thing couldn't have been bigger than a 2 liter.
It was not very big at all. And I hunted that tree the other day when the wind was blowing that you missed the doe out of on my property. I hunted that tree and I could see where your platform was in it before, and I don't know, it's probably 3 foot above where your platform was. and I was just swinging back and forth. But when I saw those turkeys walk the ridge and then walk into the food plot, my mind instantly went to turkey season right then. Like, forget a deer, my mind went straight to turkey season just then. And I watched, I think I counted 12 gobblers, 12 longbeards, 2 jakes, and 2 hens. And they come in that food plot and just, I don't know, they milled around for 35, 40 minutes. I was holding out to rattle. I was going to rattle and do a little grunt sequence there, but those birds were standing there, and that's the last thing I wanted to do is scare those birds, and they take off running and make a bunch of noise. So I ended up having to wait on them to leave the food plot. But that really got me excited. I'm looking forward to turkey season. Looking forward to duck season if the weather gets right. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. But
Well, like we said at the beginning, Dave Ackley, you are our winner for the $25. I would say this is our Thanksgiving giveaway, our first
yeah,
holiday giveaway,
duck season, rut, whatever you want to call it.
whatever you want to
Giveaway
call it.
number 1.
You got 2 weeks to claim it.
When will this be posted? Doing it
Uh,
tonight or tomorrow or Tuesday?
I think I'm gonna
or
put this. I think by the time they hear this podcast will be out tomorrow afternoon. So
tomorrow
starting
afternoon.
tomorrow afternoon, 2 weeks.
So they don't know what tomorrow afternoon is. Let's do some looking right quick. You will have December 9th.
Contact us. Our email's linked in our LinkedIn, on Facebook and Instagram. We don't have a TikTok yet. We're gonna put together a TikTok to put some small stuff on there and put some videos on there later on. But our email's on there, or you can DM us or send us a Facebook message. Either way, you can reach out. However, claim your gift card. We will get that to you. And then I think we're gonna do another gift card holiday giveaway in December, closer to Christmas. I do have the gift card on hand, ready to be drawn for. So when it gets closer to that time, we're going to do another giveaway. Stay tuned for that. We'll be doing. We may do it a little different. We may find some other way to give that away, but stay tuned for that.
But
Watch for it.
if we don't do it different, and you're listening to this and not following us on Facebook or Instagram, that's all you have to do
That's
to
it.
win it.
Follow
and share
us.
the post.
Follow us. Share the post. Put it on your story.
No money, nothing you have to do. Nothing.
And
free to you.
That's for now. Next year we may do a bigger giveaway. We may do a raffle. We don't know. We're going to see where that goes. But claim your gift card. If you don't claim it in 2 weeks,
sorry,
I guess one of us are going to use it.
No, not like that.
Maybe not.
It's going to go to a different person. You got 2 weeks. End of the line.
All right, we thank you for listening, and we will catch you guys on the next one.